everyone. Welcome to the Greatness Game here on a Sunday night. So glad to be with you guys. Come on in, have a glass of wine, margarita, tea, whatever your sweetness is to decompress your day. So my name is Dina Patton. Hopefully you will join me here every night. I am going Monday through Friday. I'm not going to do weekends for the next few weeks, just so I can have some break with my family. So meet me here Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And for your dose of greatness and inspiration, positivity, and it's all about moving you forward. Why I do this is about your mental toughness, your leadership, and your greatness games. Those are three things that are really important right now to your own well-being, to your family, to your career, to your business. Anytime we're moving forward, we have to have that toughness, that mental toughness to get through something. It's all about mindset. Of course, our leadership and how we're leading right now, leading ourselves, leading our choices, leading our family, leading our teams. And then, of course, the greatness games. Are you playing greatness games or are you playing smallness games? So hopefully you will join me here just for a few minutes of some inspiration and some positivity to feed you. So tonight, I want to remind you the 5 things that really that we touch on these episodes. We talk about spirituality, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financial wellness, health, strength, toughness. Those 5 things, and why it's in that order is I truly believe when our spiritual self is broken or fractured, that everything else is impacted. Really, it goes in that order: that spirit, then mental, then physical, then emotional, then financial. And why it's so important, that spiritual self in us, our spirit, whatever that is for you, is so crucial to success and moving forward, and our health and our wealth. So tonight, I want to talk about 3 things that are going to help your spirit, hopefully refuel your spirit. We all are doing things that are making us hopefully positive, making us happy, making us connect more to friends and family, and keeping ourselves well. So, but I want to address our spiritual self and making sure that we're taking care of our spirit, and whatever that looks like for you. For me, I am a Christian, and for me, part of my journey of being an entrepreneur, being an independent woman, is my faith, and especially through hard times. There's been 3 or 4 really hard times in my life, and at the center was God. And, you know, I hold on to this phrase that just repeats in my head, and it really helps me, and that is, hold on to God, not your pain. You know, sometimes pain and challenges and tough times, what it can do, it doesn't matter if you're super strong. What it can do is throw you into victim, throw you into helpless, throw you into that smallness, right? And so one of the things about holding on to your God, whatever your God is, whatever your spiritual practice is, when you put them right in the center and you hold on to God instead of your pain, that is like it's like half the battle, because you're holding on to something strong, right? Versus your pain is not strong. Our pain is what got us there, right? Or whatever got us there. You don't want to be holding on to what got you there. So my very first tip is hold on to God, hold on to your God, hold on to the thing that spiritually fuels you. If you wake up like that and then midday, you know, recenter in that, and at night go to bed with that, just that notion and some time around that God, I promise you, it will keep you so centered in the face of anything, right? I remember a very hard time that I was having 11 years ago when my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she moved in with us. And that I was pregnant with her only granddaughter. And it was both a magical, spiritual, ironic time, because here I had life. I was 8 months pregnant and we were so excited about that. And at the same time, she was dying and they weren't even sure that she was going to make it to meet my daughter. And it was this really weird time that I could have gone to a very dark place and a very victim place of not having my mom in this fun, time all about the baby. It was about her and keeping her alive. And it was very scary and very hard. And I go to a poem, The Invitation. If you have not read The Invitation, it's a very powerful poem. And in it, it says, there's a line in it that says, can you see something pretty even when it's not pretty? Can you find the beauty in things when it's not even pretty? And for me, the biggest blessing of that time was, yes, my mom was sick, but we made a promise together. And we said, we're going to put God in the middle of this journey, first and foremost. And two, we're going to live until she dies. Like, we didn't know if it was going to be in a month or 2 months, or even 4 months. But I promised you, what we did is we shifted our mindset and our spirit around living, around connecting, around creating memories. And that is what our game was about. And I promise you, it is such a different way of looking at things when you are going through a challenging time, of looking at the thing that you don't think is beautiful, but really it is beautiful. It was such a gift that we had her stay with us during that time. And the amazing part is we got her on a trial drug that gave her actually 12 months. So she not only met my daughter, but she was there at her first birthday party, and died right after that. And it was just this magical, spiritual year of the irony of like living and dying, living with someone who is dying. Can you find the beauty? Can you find the magical moments? Can you create memories? So it's so important to put God in the middle of your challenges, and because it's something that you can count on and that it's strong, and put your faith in and put your head in, put your arms around and hold on to that. And I love Joshua 1. It is, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. And there's so many things in the Bible that say, I do not give you the spirit of fear, right? Fear is so in our mind. It's such a mental game. And so when we can master our greatness mindset, and when we can overcome those smallness fears and those smallness stories in our head and get our head on straight, we can overcome anything. So first and foremost, hold on to God, and your faith and your spiritual practice, whatever that is. It's so important right now. You want to come out of this stronger spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. The second thing is something that is going on right now. I can hear it on social media. I can hear it in people's language. And there's a lot of judgment. There's judgment on a global level, on a political level, on a community level, so much, hate around politics, and they're doing it right, they're doing it wrong, all of that judgment. People are judging their neighbors, but also people are judging themselves. And, judgment, there is so much stuff in negative stuff in judgment. And what I want to challenge you to do is I want you to release the need to judge. See, there's almost a human part of us that wants to judge. There's something like automatic about judging. We've been doing it our whole lives, right? But when you release the need to judge how this virus is doing, how politics are doing, this is doing, how I'm doing, right? Or we're even comparing ourselves to the Joneses in challenges, So right now, can you release the need to judge? Okay, so what that does, and here's another question to that, is what does judgment give you? Judgment in good times, judgment creates separation, disconnection. The second you judge someone, there's a disconnect and separation. So judgment, there's all kinds of payoffs in judgment, but I promise you peace, joy, happiness is not in judgment. So I challenge you to let go of judgment right now, of yourself, of others, of me, of politics, of what's going on, what's not going on, because it's not setting you up to win. It's not creating a greatness game for you. It's not moving your mental toughness forward. It's not creating more income for you. It's not creating more fun and connection with you for you. So judgment is something that you can really master and you can really give up, because really at the end of the day, it doesn't serve you. And it certainly doesn't serve any greatness game that you are up to right now. So it is a barrier, as a coach, when I'm working with my clients, one of the biggest pieces of positive pieces of a coach is the listening. I've been doing it 20 years. I can hear things that clients don't even know that they're dealing with, right? And one of the pieces that I believe people are dealing with right now is the massive amounts of judgment from them to others and others to them. So it's just such a thing to be aware of, is be aware of your judgment and catch it and stop it. Like, I don't need to judge that. Let it go. Because that every time you judge, it takes up space. It takes up space in your heart and in your spirit, in your mind, in your space. Like, I'm really, really big on keeping your space as clear and clean and positive as possible. And judgment, it's just like, something that like someone just threw up in your space, right? It's like not needed. So I promise you that if you let go of judgment and release the need to judge, because the need in us to judge is always about our position in it, right? Like we're feeling right or we're feeling better because we're doing it right and they're doing it wrong, right? It's always about ego. And right now we don't need more ego. So coming back to your spiritual self, your greatest self, how your greatest self is reacting to this, not your lowest self. That is part of our lower selves of doing that. All right, so releasing the need, that is tip number 2. And tip number 3 is if you have ever read my book or heard me speak, you will hear me talk about this thing. I have a few of them in my house. I encourage my clients to have these like big walls in their office space for this. And it is a winning wall. And it can be something small. It can be an entire wall. At our summer camp, a lot of you know that I co-founded a nonprofit for girls, a leadership nonprofit for girls. And by the way, we are going to be doing a nonprofit, a fundraiser this week for them, because this is pretty devastating for that. So I will mention that this week. We're going to do something fun for that to raise some money to keep those doors open. But at summer camp, we have an extraordinary girls leadership summer camp. And in July, hopefully we can have this year, but a whole wall is dedicated to the winning wall. And the girls are encouraged to put their wins of the day. They could be mental wins, they could be breakthroughs, they could be physical wins. It's so awesome to see these girls put their wins in every day. And then by the end of the week, the entire wall is covered. So this is an example. This is my quarantine little winning wall. I literally 30 days on here, just little bubbles. And we just put 1 or 2 winning moments, things that we're doing in there. And it's just, sometimes they're funny moments. Like today we went on a 3-mile rollerblade adventure. So it was fun. That goes on there. We cooked banana bread, a couple of, played kitchen volleyball. So we just are putting just little wins, fun moments that are bringing us joy or connectedness in that. But what's great about tracking it is, first of all, it's just fun tracking wins. Can we say tracking wins? Yes. Set goals and crush them and track them, because you know what? Like a few days later, you're going to forget. I completely forgot last week's wins. I had so many wins last week. I would never remember them if I didn't have a winning wall. So it's not a big explanation. It's just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 words. So that is my third tip, is maybe it's even in a journal. It's a sticky, it's a whiteboard. Some people will paint a wall with chalkboard paint and write it that way. So just 3 tips to help, again, your greatness game, moving you forward, moving you to a powerful place, using your mind, body, spirit to uplift and elevate your greatness. Please post any questions, any comments. I see you, Nikki. Hi, Alyssa. Mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for being here. The Greatness Game, 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, all about your mental toughness, your leadership, and your greatness game, because your future needs you. Your future needs you. A month from now needs you to be in action right now. Now, I'm not saying go run a marathon. I'm saying take care of yourself, comfort and care. We want to connect, comfort, care, take care of ourselves and our family right now, safety first. And we want to move forward. And we want to think about, what does my future self in a month need? 3 months need, So setting ourselves up. And I can't say enough about baby steps. Let's have grace around ourselves, have grace around our steps, and just these little baby steps every day. All right. So thank you so much for being here. The action, the homework step is to, I'm going to give you 2. You can do both. Bonus, or you can choose one. The first one is release any major judgments that you have right now. Look at who you're judging and why, and see if you can release the need to judge. So that's homework 1. And homework 2 is create your own winning wall. It's so fun, especially if you have kids. I have a homework winning wall for my daughter so she can track her studies right now. Kids really need, they hear that at school all day. Good job. Good job. Well, they're not getting that. We've got to be that. So that little winning wall, every time she does her subjects, I high five her and I say good job. So it's important to keep our kids' mental toughness going right now. This is it for them. A lot of kids are out for the summer. So keep acknowledging your kids, keep helping them win and progress forward in whatever they're doing. And those are your 2 challenges, your homework for the night. Also, this is one little point that in my notes, remember, fear creates and breeds disempowerment, which then breeds inaction. So if you are paralyzed, if you are in no action, you're just completely like, whoop, bump on a log, right? You want to go back to the fear and ask yourself, it takes courage to ask yourself, what am I scared of? Specifically, what am I scared of? And see if you can identify, because fear is such a big monster, it can paralyze us and we don't even know why. It's just so big, right? But when you can look at it in its face and say, why am I scared? What am I scared about? And you can write that down. Now you can actually see and go, oh, I'm scared of, well, that's silly. That's not going to happen. Or no, I have our finances handled. That's managed. Okay. Then why am I in action? Like just paralyzed. So don't let that fear monster paralyze you. If you are not in action, you dial down into that fear and ask that fear what that's about so that you can get your power back. That fear just stole your power. You got to take it back. And that is from digging deep into it. All right. I hope that little tip helped, because I know some people are not in action yet. They're like, stuck. So your courage is what gets you out of that mud. I promise. Put on courage, put on a courage coat, dig into your fear, see what it's about, see if you can unpack it and get back in action. All right, you guys, that's it for tonight. Monday through Friday, right here, 7 o'clock for the Greatness Game. My book is on Amazon, The Greatness Game. It's $10. If you need some mental toughness for your mental game right now and really want to play a greatness game, get my book. It's $10 on Amazon. Hopefully that will help. My website is dinapatton.com. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Mwah! See you tomorrow.